but not too loudly. Okay, I'm seeing all you guys put that out there on Discord. Thank you. Appreciate that. Other people getting on the stage. I see Musashi there. Not quite on stage, just Mysterious. Join us there too. See other listeners in the audience. Thanks everybody for joining us. People coming in from Discord, welcome. Willow, you're here actually listening on Twitter. That's awesome because that means we don't have to hold off any more leaks waiting for you to show up. Sarah, any airdrops on today's space? We give so many gifts out. We're not giving out any on today's space, but there are so many that are flowing out of the team and the company this time of year. So check on how you can pick up some of those. Uh-oh, Citizen X. When Michelle and Mal comes in, you'll be blasted by them or blasted by me? Yeah,
Understand me name.
yeah, I know. Citizen X is saying that when you talk, someone's going to be blasting everybody's ears out. I don't know if it's you or if it's me, or maybe it's Michelle. We don't know. I see Citizens X is typing. All right. Well, what do you think? Michelle, are we ready to kick this off? Are you on? Where are you? I'm not seeing you on stage. I see you in Discord. Okay, we'll just hang for a minute while Michelle joins us. And hey, again, welcome everybody. What is it? Just the Friday before Christmas. It's just really cool. It's pretty exciting. While we're waiting for Michelle to come in, we're just going to share what the team's going to be doing. We've got a lot of work that's been piling into Townstar Live and a lot of Townstar Godot work going on. All of the gifts and giveaways and features that we're adding to Godot and the sales that are coming up, most of which I think everybody has kind of seen or maybe even figured out by kind of deconstructing the latest build. I know some people discovered some secrets there. But after today, we're going to be taking the week off. We want the team to relax, head out this afternoon, have a good Christmas holiday season, and we'll all be back to work on the Tuesday after January 1st. But there will still be an AMA next Friday. We'll do a little bit of a retrospective, talk about some of the things that have, happened over the year. And of course, we do have fireworks coming up. So, Michelle, are you there?
I'm here. I made it.
Yay. Oh, yay. Okay, there you go. Yeah, you just popped on. So, let's do official kickoff. Welcome, everybody. It's December 23rd. This is probably wow, what are we at? The continuation of AMAs we've been doing weekly since the end of July-ish. So it's really fun to see that all of these stacking up and getting completed, and everybody that's joining us week to week, we're really excited to talk to everybody and share everything we can. The stuff we share is real. You guys have been listening for a while know that we like to use the term walk the talk. So we don't make up stuff. We don't kind of project far out into the future. We say, when we say this is going to happen, we actually mean it, and it's because the team's working on it. So without further ado, Michelle, let's get started. Take us away.
Yeah, let's quickly go over what happened this week in the Townstar Live game, like we usually do. With Boom Cane meta went fully live now, so that is all there for anybody who wants to practice. That competition that starts next Tuesday, the 27th. I think it's the 27th. There wasn't a lot of other big updates this week in the actual live game. Trying to get to the changelog. There it is. We did have the Wizards Workshop and the North Pole Creation Lab are in there now. So you should be able to have all four of the NFTs whenever we send that next one out for anybody who bought one of each of the other three. I think that we're targeting early next week, though I'm not 100% sure. That was really about all that actually happened in the live game. I think it's just people practicing for Boom Canes, which is exciting since we've got that Tree Farm Ghost card next
Got
week,
it.
which is going to be a big one.
What about the 12 days of Town Star?
Yeah, that's something else we're doing. It's not in the actual game, it's mostly on Twitter. We have been giving away an NFT every day for, geez, nine days now. Today will probably be the 10th day whenever we get around to announcing that on Discord. I think there's two left. We've got the big warehouse left and the UFO skin left, which are pretty coveted NFTs. So that'll be a big one for people when they win those.
Yeah, just for all the people who maybe haven't seen the Gleam campaign that we're running there with those giveaways, what are some of the other stuff that we've given away so far, our first 9 days?
Let's see here. We gave away a 5 pack of paved roads, a legendary tree farm, and a legendary oak tree farm, an alpha fountain, okay, a common wheat stand, a rare bakery, a rare winery, a rare cakery, the legendary fabric plant, and a chocolatier already. The big storehouse was the one we drew last night. I think that was announced on Twitter, but not yet on Discord. Today will be the big warehouse sometime around 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then announced probably tomorrow morning. And then the last one is the UFO scan.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's a good
Um,
lineup.
yeah, it really is. And the kind of as somebody touched on earlier, are we going to be giving some drops away in this space? We're giving so much away already over the month. Just want to make sure everybody kind of gets a clue on that, gets that context. I'm seeing some people jump on into the Discord discussion. Hi, Rocket Unit. Oh, Ed77, you don't like Twitter. Sorry, we're gonna be here for a while. But we do recognize that Twitter's not the easiest for everybody, but it is something we're going to keep trying on and working through different ways of communicating. Um, but let's see, TSL. Any Rhiannon, any notes you want to share before we move on to another a resource? Any notes you want to share before we move on to TSG, TS Godot?
Absolutely, I do. My toddler in the background does as well. Um, yeah, we've been working hard on the frame rate issues. I know everyone's been talking about that. We are happy that we are going to be able to release the FPS changes that should be helping the game out just the after the new year. So look out for that, and we'll get your opinion on it and see what you think. And yeah, we're real excited about it.
So I know with that change, there's a little bit of change in gameplay or how the game actually plays. So Michelle, Mal, you've been testing that. Can you share some notes on what you're seeing?
Well, as I was speaking with Michelle, and we just thought about what makes the most congas in a build, and I believe Michelle went and tried to make as many congas as she could with like chickens, windmills, sawmills, everything going on at once that just spins out the loggers crazy. And I believe it was all right, wasn't it, Michelle? There was no major differences in how the logic would like, well, in the sense of it didn't like break the game.
Yeah, I did test it. I did have a lot of I had like the live game up on one screen and then the staging environment with the changes up on another screen, and I tried to build the exact same build as I went on the two different games to see the differences. And you could definitely tell that the loggers were they were not following each other around as much, like from windmill to windmill to windmill or from lumber mill to lumber mill to lumber mill, which was nice. It was a good change. I think it'll be awesome once we get it live and get everyone to play around with it and see if it improves frame rate because those pathing issues do tend to cause a lot of frame slowdowns for a lot of players.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how everybody the feedback from everybody in the community as well. And resource, when is that change coming? It's not this week, right?
We are going to ship it. I hate giving dates, but I'm going to do it. We are going to ship it January 3rd, the morning of January 3rd. And it's mostly going to be affect people that are getting really, really trashy frame rates. So if you're already getting like 30 or or 40 FPS, you may not see much of a difference in your frame rate. But if you're one of those people that is well below that, that's really where it's going to count.
Cool. Yeah, I saw the demo about a week ago before we integrated the code, and it was quite startling on the demo machine that we looked at it on. So I'm excited. I'm excited that it'll help a lot of people, but also I'm really curious what the community is going to say about it because it does change. Gets rid of the conga lines, but I know some people. I don't know. It's kind of you build that into your play process, right? So we'll see how that does it. I think it's going to be overall positive, but we'll listen to what you guys have to say once you're testing it out that week there.
Yeah,
Um,
it'll definitely be a big change because people are so used to the way everything works currently that
yeah,
even though it's not ideal, everyone has just kind of gotten accustomed to it and they've built things intentionally to not take advantage of those issues, but to kind of deal with them in the best way possible. And it may not be a problem anymore, which would be really, really nice.
I know. It kind of reminds me of like if anybody's ever had the fortune to drive an old clunker car, and you get when you step on the gas, it might take 2 or 3 seconds for it to actually kick in, and you then incorporate that into your daily driving style. And then suddenly, if you get into another car and you step on the gas and it goes right away, it's a little bit of an adjustment. But I'm super excited by that. So, yay! Let's talk about Townstar Godot. We can cover a couple of things. Volcron started his vacation early, so we don't have a Volcron video this week. Um, but I can share a couple of notes of what's going on. Of course, everybody's working towards getting all the code and features finished. Very strong effort by the devs. We also did what we call a bug sweep this week. Um, if anybody's ever worked on a game before, there's crash bugs and you fix them right away, but sometimes there's lower priority bugs that just kind of accumulate. And so what I like to do is just kind of go through and take a day and have the team kind of just go through and clean up, polish, change things. It just helps raise the experience overall for QA, but also for devs that want to get in and test their codes. That was yesterday. Worked out pretty well. We've got, man, so many other things happening with it. I shared a little bit of a tease last night on, changing up the whole grid space and layout system of the game. We're going to be talking through that with engineering a little bit later today to see if how quickly we can actually get that implemented. I think that's going to radically change the kind of the look and feel of everything, especially as we go to larger and larger game boards. Let's see. Anybody else? Anybody else on stage want to chime in? Maybe Musashi kind of chime in with some of the things that we've been doing on Godot this week.
On Godot this week. I'm not sure. I'm not Volcran, but maybe I can talk a little bit about upgrading,
Yeah,
if that's okay.
yeah, go for it.
So I've seen a couple questions regarding how upgrading NFTs will work. I can't I can't say everything yet, but the first thing to know is that we want NFT upgrades to be permanent. I know that's a concern of you guys, so we want it to be permanent, so all resources you sink into them are not lost into the void in case you want to sell them or trade them. So that's the first thing. The other thing is that we're designing around classic RPG and mobile RPG mechanics. So expect your NFTs to improve in one or more ways with each level. Things like storage capacity or speed or something else. And the great thing about Geary is that we can easily add data to those NFTs, like easily and cheaply add data to those NFTs, which we can't do right now with ETH. So, like for example, have the XP or level of the NFT in it instead of in our servers, right? So these things are yours, not ours. So that's kind of what we're designing around. I don't want to go into more details because I'll become the new Tom Holland, and I don't want that.
Yeah, Volcron's good. Let's hold the leaks down, unintentional leaks. There's a couple of questions coming in here. What will it cost? Eternal Essence, what will it cost to upgrade? We'll figure that out. We'll share when the time is right. We have the systems, like Musashi said, in mind. Just gotta, come up with the numbers, which everybody knows. Not everybody knows. Let me share it. As you're doing game design, you come up with your system, your top level thinking, some initial numbers and parameters, and then you go through a tuning phase where you go, should it cost X or should it cost Y? Should it cost $10 or should it cost $20 or $1,000? And so we'll go through that process as we continue to nail down the details on that, and we'll be able to share it with everybody. Um, let's see. Other notes. Let's see. Mysterious Wheat. Did you have anything you wanted to share? Deep into Townstar Godot stuff.
Um, Not too much to share today. I mean, I think that the the exciting part is just seeing so much of it come together and being able to get excited about all the different things we can plan for the future. I don't want to leak anything, although I have changed my name on Discord to Mysterious Leak, so you can find me there. And I think we should probably add a leak crop to the game. I don't know why we don't have leaks in the game.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yes, do it.
There is one thing, and I'm gonna jump ahead a real quick because one of the questions that came up from the community is, basically how are we gonna bring in more players, right? And I know people have been asking that all along. Um, do you wanna share a little bit about that, Mysterious, or we want me to jump in on that?
Oh yeah, I can definitely share about that. So I think that's one of the exciting things. As we're going to Godot, we're getting really excited about bringing in new players because we know that the experience that we're going to give them is the experience that we want to give them. So that's really cool. So we've been putting a lot of work into new types of marketing assets like landing pages and videos, and we will be bringing new players into the game. And part of it's on us, which is bringing new players into the game, telling people about Townstar and about Gala and everything that you can do here. And then part of it is having a soft and warm welcome for them when they join, our game, join our Discord. So part of that is the game experience and making sure that the game experience is fun for new players. And part of that is what you all already do, is supporting new players when they come in. And I love seeing the chat and seeing when new players come in, just how helpful you all are. So keep doing that. But thank you to all of you for being so supportive of new people coming into our game and ecosystem. It's really awesome.
Yeah, that's something I've seen too in the last I don't know, last month or so. All the support in everybody, not only just helping new players, but oh my gosh, you're sharing town layouts and stuff. I remember, I don't know, it seemed like 4 or 5 months ago that was like the most closely guarded secret, and now people are sharing more, helping other people get going with their energy production and everything, and just layouts. I know I saw a layout earlier in the week. I can't remember who it was from, but I captured the image of it because it was 4 windmills and storage there for kind of a inexpensive power plant was the note that I took on it. So some of the people's notes as I'm watching there in Discord, um, yeah, you might see some ads popping up, right? As we start ramping up our advertising efforts or player, invitation process to bring more players into the game. And we're gonna be working on that going forward. And then the other piece that we've been doing as a team to prep for Godot, as Mysterious said, is getting all of our marketing assets, our brains wrapped around the pacing and the timing on how we're going to do the launch. So that's a lot of work going on there. Any other?
I just want to add on as well.
Yeah.
You will have seen me posting a no NFT build for the new guys. So if you see me spamming that, it's not because I think I'm a genius. In fact, it could be improved. So if you can improve it, please do and help the new guys and girls coming in, because coming in and being screamed, you just need this, build that, there's these, put these down. They have no idea. We were all there. They are absolutely no idea what's going on. So you can give them all the most helpful advice, but sometimes just giving them a whole build to just say, if you can get to this, this is this. And they can learn a lot from just even trying to do that. So please, everyone, it's Christmas. As the new people are coming in, no laughing emojis, no laughing gifts. Michelle will be all over you if you're doing it. We want a nice environment, no being mean to them, just help them share builds. I've put a build in the chat. It's like 32 canes an hour. It'll do for a new guy. If you've got a better one, share it with them. Share it with your friends, whatever. Get them in. It's for the ghost card, so, for the wood ghost card. The Great Woodlands. I don't know if it's been leaked yet. It's the Great Woodlands ghost card. I think I've said it, but Anyway, that's the name. It's the Great Woodlands. So if you want to get your friends one or you see someone in the chat, just encourage them because winning something can feel nice for a new person and they might want to stick around.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Mal. Yes, part of if you guys can hear us now talking even more about community, helping community going forward. We think that's a key part of, a pillar of success for Townstar going forward. So we want to keep emphasizing and encouraging people on that. Let's see some notes really out of the community. Somebody was asking about server costs and cluster sizes. Yeah, Volcron might be able to speak to that, but we probably won't talk about the cost. Who pays for the costs? Gala does. We do. Townstar and Gala, right? So we're all part of Gala, so that's where that comes from. Uh, let's see. Any other questions before we jump forward into the next segment? Any other questions popping up in community? Mal, Michelle?
I don't really see any.
Okay. Got it. So are we ready to move on to our next segment? Is this the new segment we've added to our AMA?
Mal story time?
Mal story time. Gather around, everybody. Okay, go for it, Mal. Go for it.
The amount of pressure now since bringing this up last night. I was, I'll just say a little story, it'll be all right. And then it just kind of built up all night. And now I can just picture this like wooden log fire next to us all and a big crowd around me and everyone just staring at me. So, yeah, the reason I have a story, and it was supposed to just be a bit funny and explain just how I think and my experiences, because I do deal with a lot of people in the chat who are having various experiences. But it was Raw. Raw sent me a lovely message after the last AMA, and he was like, Mal, lots and lots of people adore what the team does. They love all this content. We appreciate the hard work and all these things that the team does. So don't worry about like naysayers, because sometimes you get the odd loud voice or someone can just be really loud and it can kind of wash away a goodness. It's a sort of don't worry about the naysayers. And I think sometimes it gets confused between the people who are just being a naysayer on the whole idea of, you can tell it's kind of like a more of a Gala thing versus a Townstar game specific naysay. But the reason I bring it up, and I had a story, is because I thought it was hilarious when I was thinking back to a memory that sticks with me dearly. And if anyone has ever played the game Ark, anyone here ever played Ark Survival? Know how hard it can be? Well, a good couple of years ago, me and my friends decided that we all got talking. We were like, oh, we all played Ark at some point individually, but never together. And we like to brag, like, oh, I'll do this first. I'll beat you to this first. And it was whatever else. And we would do that. And no one could do any achievements without anyone putting it down because, oh, I can do it quicker and easier and blah, blah, blah. So the agreement was in our server, we would make the settings nuts. We would make them, if anyone's ever played Ark, we're talking like way past the official type of server settings online that the clans and guilds would use or whatever, talking way past that. It was nuts. So anyway, we start this game, and about 2 weeks in, I finally got a flyer. And I'd never been on this map before, and I didn't want to Google it and spoil anything. So I was flying around this wonderful giant map on me Pterodon. And I found this massive trench in the ground, and it had lava and spikes coming out, and I was like, wow, what's this? And as I got close, dead. Got melted from above. It was a wyvern. I had just discovered the Wyvern Trench. I was like, okay, well, there was 2 weeks of progress gone. Let's find out about this Wyvern Trench. Now, I was still thoroughly enjoying myself at this point. The hard mechanics, the taking ages to do everything, being real grindy, didn't bother me. Real fun still. So I asked my friend, I was like, hey, what's this trench thing here? I don't understand it. What are these dragons? I've never seen them in Ark. What is going on? And he says, oh, something about eggs. If you can get an egg, you can hatch one. Don't bother. Really difficult on normal settings. You wouldn't be able to do it on this server, he says. Okay. 5 or 6 weeks later, I have been going hard from that very moment to get an egg because I was not going to be told I couldn't do it because I felt like it was possible. All my friends had progressed. They'd done all these cool things. They'd had so many great memories. However, I'd ignored them for now way past a month. I had fobs tactically placed all over that Wyvern Trench. I could be at any moment, any place, anywhere on it. It was great. I had multiple flyers, gears, kit, and every single base. It was great. I had George, me best flyer. It was time to roll. We were going to get an egg. We were going to fly into that lava, scary trench. We were getting an egg. And there was another process where you had to get the milk and raise once you hatch the egg over days and days. So this was a long process. We're 6 weeks in. It's big. I'm nervous. I go in. I literally get down there, land on the ledge. There's the first egg I've ever seen. It's a green egg. I'm excited. I pick the egg up, jump on George, dead. Turns out when you pick the egg up, it's heavy, and George didn't have enough weight. And that triggered all of them to come and murder me. So I was dead again. It's like, right. I went back. I got me spare flyer. I spent a couple of days training the weight on George II because George was going to get this egg with me. So I don't go on. Eventually, I get down there, I get the egg, and I get out with an egg. Great. I go through this 9-10 day process of hatching the egg, raising the baby dragon into a big dragon, or the wyvern into a big wyvern. This is wonderful to me. I'm probably about 8 weeks. I'm probably about 2 months into the game. I am having a great time, regardless. It's early in the morning my time, and I think I know what I'll do. I've now got this fully grown wyvern. I'm going to surprise me friends. They're going to be gobsmacked because they haven't done anything like this on this server, and they couldn't. So I'm going to show them that I won. So I fly right over to that trench again, because I think, how cool would it be if I turned up with a wyvern and then I had an egg for everyone, all my friends, as some kind of really cool hard work thingy. I get to that trench after a couple of minutes because the wyvern fires really fast. So I get there, I land on the perch, jump off, turn around, and the wyvern fell into the lava and died. And it was at that point, staring down at the corpse and the lava, that I just knew I had had enough. But what I noticed is, even though I was enjoying myself right up until that point, his name was Sparky. It was a lightning wyvern. I was really excited. I was looking at Sparky just in the lava, and I just realized that I immediately stopped enjoying the game. And it inside me felt like I didn't enjoy any of it. But it was wrong, because I'd enjoyed myself all the way up until Sparky had died, because that was the final straw that broke the camel's back. And I think that sometimes is the point you've got to identify with a gamer. Is it just the mechanics, either the challenges set or the raw mechanics itself, that have gone too far, or it's just a case of you've had one silly thing happen, or there's a very, I think, big difference, because I was annoyed each time when I lost George and found new things out and had to suffer. That was annoying, but it wasn't an unfun experience. What became unfun is when I realised that because the wyvern was so big and the ledge was so small, that as soon as I stepped off him, he fell into the lava. And it was just like, that was too much for me. After going through everything I'd gone through, that was just too much to deal with. That was even a thing. And I thought I'd share that because I bear that in mind heavily when trying to address a naysayer. Or if you ever see me trying to explain things, it's because sometimes I think there's a misunderstanding. And if you just knew something, you wouldn't be as annoyed. It wouldn't bother you as much, because you can either avoid it or you can expect it. And if I'd have expected half of those things, I wouldn't have been annoyed half of those times. So I just wanted to tell that story about losing Sparky and how that was just enough for me. And I haven't really played Ark much since. And it was just something that stuck with me, but I appreciated it was my fault. I set the settings. I refused to learn until I'd learned the hard way. And that was basically sometimes hard. Some gamers get that way, and that's when naysaying comes out. And I think we should try and spot the difference and maybe just bring them back in.
For Sparky, I put that image there for you, Mal. If you see in Discord. Poor
I'll go and
Sparky.
have a look.
Poor Sparky. I knew where you. I knew. So just in case everybody's wondering, we let Mal tell the story live without talking about it before. So I knew exactly when you said you're going to land your dragon there, that I was that moment of, I am going to be triumphant. and then Sparky falls in the lava. So
He was like
yeah,
5 minutes old. It was really annoying. They had 9 days of like setting alarms because you had
yeah,
to feed it like every interval of hours getting up. It was just nuts. It died so quickly straight after that. It was just wow. It's like, oh my God, did that just happen?
yeah. So I like that thinking. So here's to Mel's point, right? If everybody's playing and you run into one of these moments like, oh my God, that was so painful or that happened, and talk about it, share it with us. As a game maker, I look and say, wow, if I was, unless I was just trying to be mean, I would have taken that feedback and say, oh my gosh, let's not have this again. Let's make sure that we have the ledge big enough to hold Sparky or whatever. Uh, but definitely, let's talk about this stuff. And thanks for raising that point, Mal. I think there is a case sometimes where it's easy to turn negative. But you guys just want to emphasize the team really cares about players' experience and what's going on. So share it with us, help us fix any kind of broken pieces that you might find, and just we'll get better as a group. We can make greatness for all the new players, so they can have a better Sparky experience. So thanks for that, Mal. Michelle, what's next on our list of things to talk about?
I think I only have one question left for Q&A because we kind of went over the other ones, which were the
Okay.
FPS issues. Let's see, we went over marketing and stuff, and we went over upgrades already. So the only other
Okay.
question I have, which may take a while to discuss, is just is the Godot version of Townstar that is targeting launch at the end of January the same as Townstar Forever?
Good. Oh yeah, that's a key part. And I think somebody might have been talking about Townstar Forever recently in a chat or an interview or something like that. I want to be clear, get some clarity and make sure that everybody's on the same page. A couple months back, actually end of summer, we started talking about this new version of the game called Townstar Forever, right? And that was actually something that Mike McCarthy and the original team were thinking about as an upgrade path for Townstar. And the idea was we have, persistent towns. We have towns that, forever towns that you just play, they don't reset. We're working towards that with the Godot code base. And Godot, for the people that are new, is the new engine that we're using. Think of it like Unity, but different, right? We're building on top of that. We're building with a server authoritative architecture, basically solving a lot of the problems the infrastructure of the current Townstar has with it. And so we're going for this. We're going to make this, we have big ambitions and big goals of making all the changes and bringing this Forever Town gameplay to our players as soon as possible. But about a month and a half ago, I started looking at it and saying, you know what we have to do first is let's get to parity. That's the word we use inside the company of for the Townstar Live game, the game that's out there that everybody's playing right now. Let's get to parity with those features on Godot and save the Forever Town for step two. So when we talk about Townstar Godot, that's kind of think of that as like the foundation for building into the future. We'll add, forever towns. We'll add new gameplay. Some of the stuff we're already talking about. So when you're kind of just to help clarify, Townstar Godot, the goal is to get the current gameplay up on the new system, up on new server authoritative architecture, up on um, the Godot engine. Have everybody play it. Come with that. We're bringing the game over to the jury chain. We have players bring their NFTs from Townstar Live in the ETH environment, bring them over to Jiri as well. We add some new features like Musashi said about upgrading your NFTs. We also turn earning back on. So that seemed to be the great first step that we want to do. And then we'll add, after we do that, the forever features. So hopefully that's clear. And so you can think of it like Townstar Godot as the first step towards Townstar Forever. And Townstar Forever is just a kind of a code name for all the new features we're going to be bringing in over time. So hopefully that's clear. You can see that. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and keep popping it up to us, and I'm happy to explain more and go through that.
Yeah, definitely ask
Okay.
questions if you have any, guys, because that's the only
Mm,
other real question that I have in our Q&A today.
okay. So while we're waiting for questions to pile up, let's move on to the next section.
I think we're talking about sales next. We've got the fireworks going on sale. Mal, you want to talk about the fireworks?
Fireworks, yes, we can talk about the fireworks. So, well, I may as well go straight to the main point. If anyone doesn't know yet, they have been doubled in the utility in the sense of it's now 50% start and cash boost, 30% clearance cost reduction. There's the 50% Wizard Workshop craft production speed. And I also decided the Sphere of Hope was going to get some Christmas love as well. So it's now been increased from the 3 radius to a 5 radius. That 5 radius will remove dirty as well as the negative aspects of salty, but not the positive, meaning you can still use things next to the ocean that require the salty as well as things that wouldn't like it. So nice for that wide reach. So the fireworks themselves, one of the things I never really got to explain before I seen people discussing the start and cash boost is the fact that have mentioned it, but people don't pay attention always. I do want to change start and cash when we can do meta specific like we can on the new one, where it can be sort of fine-tuned competition. I don't like the idea of just 25k. I've always found it kind of annoying, the fact that we can't make it higher, lower, do some funny things there where the first few buildings are really cheap and then the rest of it's insane, and just all the different ways where there would be caveats. We don't have it at the moment because it's just 25k every single time. So right now you get a 50% boost on that. It might go higher, which would mean you get an even greater start. Or the sense if it goes down less, and you've still got more than everyone else anyway. It just depends. I know people ask me for those little 1 hour, 1 day puzzle competitions that are more around, being successful and making sure everything you place was the best decision and stuff. And obviously we're looking at those mysterious wheat and Musashi and myself. We're always talking about the new types of competitions and what do we do there. So I think the start and cash is going to be one of those important things. So I feel like there's a 50% boost on that. It's very nice. It's very generous, very Christmas generosity. The obstacle clearance, again, I assume everyone thinks this is the problem. I often see people look at the game right this second and they're like, well, why would I? And that's fine because that's exactly as the game is now, and that's exactly as normal people would think. But I do ask that people consider, just by some chance, that it might change, and it might be a rock might be 500k because there's a couple in your town. What's the big deal if a rock's 500,000 now? But you'd like to clear that for a much cheaper price, I'm sure. Just depends now. This isn't just what it's going to be. But, for example, trees went up to 20,000 to clear them. Could they go up again? Yes. Why are you all removing trees? It's cruel. Stop it. We need them. So maybe the trees go expensive. Maybe the ponds. So I just want to really push it across that, you can live in the right now if you want. But there is definitely the future. There's lots of plans and lots of different strategy. This isn't just saying every single game now, everyone's expensive, everyone's hard to clear. It's not what I'm saying. But the same with any NFTs is the sense of they looked for when they're useful, how many metas, how many things. Well, I feel like in every single meta you clear stuff, and in every meta you buy stuff with your starting cash. So this is one of those where it's real general utility tool belt, as I would say, in the sense of helps you kind of from the start on one aspect, and then you've got the clearance as you're going through. People do mention that there's some places that don't have stuff to clear. Yeah, deserts have cactus and scrubs and all those things, and what if they went expensive? Okay, so just think about it. That's all I'm going to ask. Sphere of Hope, the proximities, I want to get more fine-tuned on those. The fact that we can increase radius on things, just bear that in mind. Maybe an ocean makes your whole town salty now. Anyone ever thought of that? Maybe an ocean has a completely entire global range. So just think about it, please, because when it happens, I don't want people going, oh, you've only done it because. No, said it now. Said it many times before. Gonna keep saying it until I do it. But just please bear in mind that there is a future, and they do get strategical. It's not a case of everyone's going to be nuts, but maybe maybe there's a couple of metas where when there's an ocean, it's just really wide across. Maybe there's 3 options to choose from for your town. One's got a global ocean, one's got a normal ocean, but the one with the global ocean's got other perks. And that's the type of thing we've explained many times before. So when thinking of utility, try. I mean, I appreciate that you're going to look at the right now, but we are fairly close, as I would like to think, to Godot. So let's just think around those fronts. Oh, of course, you don't have to, but I would like you to, because you often sit in the chat and ask me these things. So now's your chance to reflect back to this AMA, previous AMAs, and start to think of what the future strategy looks like.
So, Mal, are you talking tsunamis?
We
No,
can have
right?
tsunamis, and I don't know what this is going to do for that, but I feel like the ocean one, I do feel like the ocean radius is very small for the salty. I feel like it should be wide. I feel like proximity sometimes can be tweaked, is all I will say.
Yeah, I think, and for everybody's worried, I don't think we're going to get into some of the, if you played SimCity before, natural disasters and things like that. I tend to not like the game board to come and wipe out the beautiful or sorry, the game itself to come and wipe out the beautiful town or city or farm or whatever you spent a lot of time investing in and creating. It doesn't mean that there can't be a mode eventually that we kind of put kind of stuff like that in there, more of a challenge mode. But yeah, there's just some learnings that those kind of nightmare scenarios are might be fun for some people, but a lot of people maybe not. So we got one more thing in that list, that agenda section there, Michelle. So we talked about fireworks.
Yeah, there was one other NFT that I guess has been leaked since we mentioned it already, so everybody's seen it. I don't know if anyone wants to specifically talk about it.
Which one is this?
The boat.
The
Oh, the
boat.
Express Pier.
The boat. We obviously have different terms inside the company for what we call it. Yeah, the boat. Yeah, that boat one. Go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
that
Mel.
flames on it. It looks super cool.
Yeah, so the boat, aka Express Pier, it is basically it's the Express Depot version. Well, it's the boat version of the Express Depot, I should say. So, it's been hard. I think for at least a year now, people have been asking, like, why is there no boat version? I never knew really. Obviously, if anyone doesn't know who's listening to the same May, you can go and get yourself Gala Gold, and you will get yourself an Express Depot when you do. Very useful land truck, very quick. And then we're going to be doing the pier version, the boat version, as we say. So if you want a nice quick 10 boat, because why not? We do obviously plan on doing water trade on the new version. So if you might have land or boat, it's always nice to have the options, believe me, because sometimes there's a really useless spot you've got where you can put a boat versus or a truck sometimes. So plus 10 boats quicker. Some people just trade by water. It's just the way it is. So it's a cool. I don't know if I'd say any more about it, but it's just in terms of utility, it's the water version of the Express Depot.
I love your accent, Mal. Smoogie called it out too. uh, what was that thing? It's another version of the what? Express.
It's a depot, the depot, as we
Oh.
would probably say.
Uh, um, that's cool. Let's see. So, anything else we didn't get Top Boy to kind of jump in and do his normal 3 minutes. Do we need to do that before we move on to other leaks and notes and announcements?
That's up to
Um,
Top Boy.
yeah, I think he messaged. I think he sent me the information.
Okay.
Let me load.
All right.
1 second. I'll try and do it on my phone, but then it'd be a nightmare for me to right. There's Top Boy. So yeah, so is this for the sale, the fireworks sale? Just to be
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So it'll be uncommon packs, $45, I believe. All things are in Gala and Town, is that correct? I think we've already yeah. Town and Gala only. It'll be 45 for the uncommon pack, 65 for the rare, and 95 for the epic. If you are wanting the Sphere of Hope, it's the same as though like we did with the ornaments in the sense of 2 of each pack, and you will get the legendary Sphere of Hope. In these packs, there's also 150 creation labs have been stuck in between all the packs. There is a blog that's out on all of this already in the Townstar announcements. But I'll just repeat that again. The fireworks, as I explained, the utility will be, if you own all 10, you get the 50% Wizard Workshop. The individual ones each work in the sense, again, like the ornaments or Miranda skins, as they have a little bit of utility, which I will just read out to be specific. So Enchanted Firework 1 is 14%. This is for cash bonus. So when you start, fireworks 1 to 5 will boost your starting cash in your town. So it's 14% for firework 1, 14% for firework 2. They're both epics. Fireworks 3 and 4 are 8%. They're both rares. Enchanted Firework 5 is uncommon, 6%. 6 to 10 Enchanted Fireworks are going to decrease obstacle clearance cost. The objects on the thing, cactus, rocks, trees, stuff like that. It's 30% total. Individually, it'd be Enchanted Firework 6 is 14%, Enchanted Firework 7, 6%, Enchanted Firework 8, 6%, Enchanted Firework 9, 2%, Enchanted Firework 10, 2%. There's 1 epic, 2 rares, and 2 uncommon out of those numbers. I think I've mentioned everything. I will now check Discord and see if I've missed anything.
I think the only thing you missed is the production speed increase for the wizard.
Yeah, so the Wizard Workshop has 50% production speed if you own all 10. That's the bonus for owning all 10. I know someone's going to ask it, what happens if I send one to my friend? You don't own all 10 then. I get asked that. Oh, the last ones, what happens if I just don't have them all? Do I still get it? No. It's a bonus for owning all 10. You have to own them, not give them away and still keep it. Okay? Just want to be really clear on that one.
Can you just share real quick Sphere of Hope? Seems
Sphere
to
of
be
Hope.
really cool.
Legendary Sphere of Hope. You know what? I'm actually going to try and get some art. While I'm waffling on, let's see if I can have a little wrestle in some channels and find some art. It's really nice. We're getting I wanted the animations a little bit more. I put a request in to go a bit more on the animations because I really like it. I know I don't have where's the photo? I'm very sorry. No, I can't find a photo. So the Legendary Sphere of Hope. When you look, I thought that was Rheosaurus posting it then. I don't know if you can find it, Rheosaurus. It's in there, but I don't know. The one that I can see, I wouldn't post, so probably not. Anyway, the Legendary Sphere of Hope. It's going to remove dirty and salty. It's based off. We've got the lower end, so we have the Orb of Hope, as we all know. There's about 11,000 of them. It's a fairly common item in our ecosystem. People have used them for all various strategies now. They're just kind of that useful thing to place down. This is just the really big version, and it does the salty as well. So it does a lot more dirty, it does a lot more salty. It's the legendary version, and it is the Sphere of Hope. See? And it's I think it's stunning. It's got I'll try and describe it. It's like 4 like crystals on the floor poking out with like the pile of salt rock in the middle with like a time and salt, like a time thing sort of spinning with like a cup with the salt. It looks really nice. I probably just butchered explaining that, but it's really nice, all golden, and it looks really nice anyway. And I will try and leak a picture. The second I get a good one to share with you all, it'll be in Discord.
Awesome. Thanks. Let's next section. I think we're titling it leaks. It feels like announcements and leaks.
Yeah, it's not really leaks. The first, I guess, leak, if you want to call it, is just to talk about the TradeBot crate sale that's happening for Town Node owners. That's at 1 p.m. Pacific time today. So that's 3 hours and 45 minutes, I think, from now, right? Yeah, about 3 hours and 45 minutes. That'll be $5 in the store if you're on the allow list. The allow list is anybody who ran their node for 10 days for 6 hours a day during the month of November. So if you did receive uncommon peppermint storage, then you're definitely on the list, and it'll just show up as available for purchase for you once you go into the Gala Games store. There are 580 of them, I believe. If they don't sell out immediately, they will go up to 500 for other node owners who were less active, I think is the next plan. I'm sorry, I'm not super up to date on what the article said.
Yeah, it's 500 for the next folks who are owners that didn't run their nodes, right?
Right.
And
Okay.
then public for everyone after that at 1,500 if they don't sell.
Right, so one of the questions that I saw coming up again and again now, last night or yesterday as the announcement went out is, what does the trade bot do?
You
Can you
know, I
share?
was shocked that more people didn't ask what the hell, in the sense of like, it's not even a new thing, which is funny because like I know most of the faces in the chat there, and most are like a year plus, so wouldn't have a single memory of the trade bot. People have obviously searched over time and noticed these parts, so people have learned, but never really gotten answers because I don't really discuss it with people anyway. Well, just to take some history back, a long, long time ago, I think about 2 years now, maybe a bit longer actually, 2.5. Long time, I feel like. We we got the TradeBot distro to the founders nodes, and that's when the portion of that went out back then. But what was learned from that was how to change distribution, and now everyone knows. And the current distribution model we have, everyone just knows it. But that didn't always exist. There was a different style back then. And it was the trade bot when it was being given to their founder node share was being given out. When it was realized, like, hey, we should probably do this in a better system with the more random picks rather than go down the list and try and eliminate addresses. And it was just, yeah. So the trade bot actually gave us the random distribution system we have now. Well, it was the thing that identified we needed one, which is kind of cool. But it just never came back. And then because obviously the team's been busy, there was the crafting everyone always asks about, which will be Giri before someone says it. It's a Giri thing. Look forward to that in the future. But the whole point is it never came back and it just went silent. So then when it did come back yesterday, I had some DMs and various questions over it because those who do remember that it was going to be auto sell and that was going to be basically the auto sell and it wouldn't be in the game. Now, we are long past that point. And I just want to make that very clear. There was a lot of speculation back in the day of just posts in Discord from probably the good old Michael McCarthy and everything else from when it was all being spoke about. I know what people are going to do. They're going to read that and be like, oh, well, this is that. This I've already seen people going, I've already figured it out and listing all these things. Stop. Just stop. Just have a breath. Just stop. It's okay because we've decided that we will decide what the trade bot does as a team. And it won't be going back and looking at the old speculations. So no, we're not just going to pull auto sell out and be like, ha, trade bot only. So there's no point. There's scripts. I don't know why anyone would think we'd do that. But those who remember the old, well, especially would think that. But new people shouldn't be thinking that because just don't. It was said. I just want to be clear. It was said, but we are not going to do that. We said a long time ago. There's the aspect of the dragon exists now. The UFO skin exists now. These were all utilities that were speculated for the trade bot. And I actually had an internal bet with myself that it would be the dragon and then the UFO, but it was ruined. And someone I said they'd start speculating straight away and going on about one of them, and it was the other order. And I was really sad. Willow was one, and I think Tofu was the other one. Straight to the conclusions. It wasn't those two, but the reason is they are the natural given speculations for a trade bot. Now, I haven't ruled them out. I said in the chat, I haven't ruled them out, but I want to look at it in a proper sense rather than just be like, oh, really lazy, like, oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, let's just do that because it's a trade bot. No, we're going to think about it. Now, I did want to speak more of the utilities, but the problem is I don't want to decide right now all of them because the idea that it just has one trade utility is stupid in my opinion because it's a trade bot and it's the OG of trading, and we did a lot of things because we didn't get the trade bot out in time. So I don't see why it's still not that. It's still not going to be like one of the best in the sense of what it does. But again, that is a subjective one of the best. So again, when I say one of the best, that's not me guaranteeing it's the A1G or any stuff like that. I'm just saying in terms of like the Dragon and the UFO are debated of which is better right now. Obviously, there's different reasons, different metas. So I've kind of lost me track now, Sage, because I just went on a complete waffle. Oh, the utility. So
I love
the
it though. I'm listening. I'm learning as you're talking about the history too.
yeah, so the actual utility. So I have had a think. I believe I shared some of them with you, Sage. And someone pointed that out yesterday. Oh well, it can't be a water trade unit. Yeah, it can. For a start, to trade bot, it can do what the hell it wants. But one of the things I was thinking, because I want to start looking at the newer ideas of utility, and I don't want to decide any right now because the new engine might say, yes, you can do that, or no, you can't. So right now I'm looking through a frosty glass of what I can do. I don't actually know, but I know what I want. We know what we want, so we just need to try and see it through the window and see if we can. But for now, one of the ones I do want to do for the trade bot is trade any number you set between 1 and 100. That's one thing that I definitely want the trade bot to have, as well as being able to trade on land, river, ocean. If we add even more biomes in, it'll go on them as well. It's the trade bot. And of course, I'd like it to not require an edge location on the map like we wanted for the dragon, which I still try and intend for the dragon if the new engine allows it. It was always stated, but we couldn't do it on this engine. But again, that'd be the same deal there. So for at least now, this is one of the things that I know is I want it to be able to pick from 1 to 100. You can just pick how many it sells. Maybe you even get the option one day. It just depends. And this is why I didn't want to talk too much, is because I don't know yet. And people cling on to those few words like the fact, even when you say it's not fact. You could say it's 99% not happening. And because there's a 1% chance, that's now the guaranteed utility. So just going to remind you all, I'm just saying what I would like. I don't know yet, but I would like if you could pick a craft and say sell 10 of them, 4 of them in that sense. So not like the auto sell in that sense, but you can just dictate a craft's amount that it to be sold in 1, 5, 7, 78, whatever you want. Ocean, river, whatever. That's one of the utilities. Is it super quick? Probably going to be quick, yes. The gas. This is the tricky one. Remove the gas, it is basically a dragon. It's not that we can't do that, and it's not that I think the trade bot could be just overruled because the dragon exists, but I just want to think maybe we do energy. I'd actually like to do different types of fuel types personally, and sort of have benefits and cons to each type. So I'll be looking at that. So I don't know. The third big one everyone asked, will it earn town points? I've stated so far no comment, and I'm going to keep to that because I don't want to be pushed in a corner to answer something while everyone's desperate to know because they're all giving me the how can I buy it if I don't know? If you don't want it for $5, don't buy it. That's all I'm going to say. If you don't want it for 500 or whatever it goes up to, just don't buy it because I'm not going to be forced to give a number now of the sake of you going on about that one. So sorry, everyone. I do not have a correct answer, so I will not give you one at the moment. I will think about it. I'll speak with the team, of course. The argument being, so Sage, is I think there was something else before that went in and it stopped. Things had stopped getting points before because it was due during the period of points and then came out after the period of points. It should have still got the points, but it still got some points. This is what the argument is around the trade bot because it's an extremely old one and all the bots got points and it would have had points had it been out. So that's where I have no comments because I would rather speak to all of yous and we'll have a proper discussion internally. And when we've got a clear, confirmed answer that you can use as a good, reliable source of information, we will tell you. But until then, it's no comment.
That's awesome.
And I don't think
I like your approach too. And I think the other thing, as we look at the design space on Godot and everything we're going to be able to do, getting clarity on what we can lean into in the new features is especially important. There's going to be so much more there. So, and I'm seeing some people, their mouths saying, I'll take that first thing for $5, right? So
yeah,
some good
exactly.
news there.
Willow
That's
even
my
said
point.
for
It's
50.
$5. Oh,
50?
someone for
Yeah.
50.
Yeah. So, just a note. Yeah. So do we have the town mascot? So we've kind of adopted this town mascot called Speed Waffle. Mal, you mentioned waffling again. If we're able to dig that out, I'd love to share that with everybody on Discord.
Oh, I've
But anyways,
probably got that. Yeah, I
you
mean,
have it?
I can send you that. We've got the thing running and everything. I believe.
Show it, man. Drop it in there. Drop it in there. And while you're doing that, Michelle, what's the next item on our agenda?
There's only one other leak left. I don't really know any details about it, so someone else is going to have to talk about it if they want to.
I think Mysterious is the one to talk about that.
Wait, what am I talking about?
What is this big thing that we were talking about late last night and trying to get to the completion state on? You know, that gift thing?
Oh, the holiday gift.
Yes.
Well, um, I feel like we've already given away too many cool things over this holiday period. I'm not really sure we should do that.
Mm, I don't
No,
know.
so so we
Maybe one more. One more.
yeah, so we're having a little more fun with Townstar, and we are going to be giving away a holiday mystery box to everybody with a Gala account. Um, so this is something that's going to be given out on Geary. So it's the first Townstar NFT that we'll be giving out on Geary, which is really cool. And there's going to be a lot of fun to come with that in the future. So we won't. I don't think we want to leak anything else about that, but just wanted everybody to know to expect that to show up all over Gala, that people are getting a Townstar holiday mystery box. Anything else we wanted to share there?
Yeah. We'll just share a little bit more detail. So it's mystery box now. We'll reveal the contents of what's in it in the middle of January, and it'll be active once we go live with Townstar Godot. It'll be for everybody in all of the Gala community. No restrictions and no requirements. We're just going to give that out as a way to kind of introduce that new version of the game, kind of show some cool stuff that we'll be able to do with the NFTs in Godot on top of Jiri. So we're pretty excited about that. I'm excited too because, like I said, it's our first kind of step forward to like, hey, look at some of the great stuff that's coming, right? So we'll be able to talk about that, but we're working really hard to get that done for everybody as soon as possible. Yeah, what's in the box, Chris? You have to wait till January. You don't have to wait till January. I can tell you right now, there's probably about 5 or 6 big ideas. Uh, we just need to go through and pick the right one. Because when we think about it, we're giving this to everybody in the ecosystem, every single person. So all other players, other games, people who've been playing for a while, people who have just joined us. It's a gift for everybody. And it is, yes, it's our way to thank the community one more time as we head into the holiday here in the next week. So, let's see. We've got we did get thanks Ria Source for posting Speed Waffle. Everybody get a chance to see that. That's the team mascot that may or may not show up in the game at some point. But
I hope
it's a
it
lot of
does.
fun.
It is so adorable.
If anybody, here's a note. If anybody has suggested functionality for a Speed Waffle Man there, please do share it. We'll collect that. Um, we have ideas, of course, but if anybody has their own, we'd love to hear it. Bring some community creativity to that thing.
And if you want to know what happened in the law, the chef and the baker were trying to create something nice for Thanksgiving. And that happened when Nicole Tesla was nearby doing her experiments. And a lightning bolt came through the window and struck the waffle that was being made for the town. And now we've got a speed waffle.
Oh, I love that superhero origin story. That's the first time I've heard that. That's awesome. That's awesome. To write out of the Marvel comic universe, right? Average, everyday, innocent experiment goes awry. A lightning bolt barks in through the window and mixes up the chemicals. I love that. Cool. Well, Michelle, is that the end of our agenda?
That's all I've got.
Oh, um, just want to say thank you to everybody for joining us again this week. Everybody on stage as well. We're gonna get, teams gonna be taking off next week, but we'll still, like I said, be there. for the fireworks sale and also, of course, support on Discord. I'll be a little bit less, but then Friday we'll do an AMA as well, same time, same bat channel. And yeah, thank you for all your support. You guys, everybody in the community sharing notes, comments, feedbacks, even some salt, right? We really appreciate that support as a team. As I mentioned before, it helps give us energy and also clarity on where to take Townstar as we go forward. So thank you for that. And then, like was mentioned earlier, thank you for helping new community members come in and not saying get good to their questions because everybody was a newbie at one time. And so let's just keep supporting everybody and grow the community well and get ready for an amazing 2023. So thank you all again very much for joining us. And with that, we're going to sign off.